I know nothing about these things, primarily, apart from what I find in the Bible.
Suggest is that whereas they would tolerate your point of view as a rather different and divergent view of Christianity, you are unprepared to tolerate their view as a possible version of the truth. Is that right?
I am, of course I am, and I say, of course, quite deliberately, for this reason, that Christianity is a very exclusive and dogmatic faith. Take the Apostle Paul, for instance, writing. He says, "Though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed." He puts it like that. Now you may say that's the arrogance of Paul. I say no. This man has been given his message. He received it by revelation. It isn't his point of view. If a man asserts his own point of view or the result of his own thinking in this intolerant manner, well, he's a boor, and he's not to be tolerated. He's a hopeless fellow. But when you are given truth, which you claim is truth from God, well, then you have no right to be anything but intolerant. When I find people insinuating their own theories and ideas and using the name of Christ, well, I have to protest. This is dishonest apart from anything else, in my opinion.
But nonetheless, it's a highly regarded Christian virtue these days to be both charitable and tolerant of people of different views from oneself. Do you disapprove of that?
Well, look, for the same reason, I am bound to. Christ himself said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me." He says, all others have been thieves and robbers. So when I find the thieves and robbers being accepted into the church and their views being tolerated and praised, surely I'm bound to protest. The point is this, that Christ, I claim, is unique. You mustn't put anybody near him. You mustn't mention him in the same category as Confucius or the Buddha or Muhammad or anybody else. Why not? Well, because he is the only begotten Son of God. This isn't my theory. This is Christianity. This is what the apostles preached. They preached Jesus and the resurrection. Now, take the man like the Apostle Paul. He, as a Pharisee, resented all this. The Pharisees regarded Christ as a blasphemer. Who is this fellow? How can this man teach, never having learned himself? Who is this man who claims to be equal with God? And Saul of Tarsus persecuted the church, and he hated Christ. He says so. But then he came to see that this was the Lord of glory, and he preached nothing else.
Paul was determined to know, to preach, to teach, and to declare nothing except for Jesus Christ and him crucified as the only means of salvation, the only means of redemption, the only means to new life. Time and again, epistle after epistle. There's not an epistle that Paul wrote where he didn't drive home the reality of Jesus Christ as the only way, the only truth, the only life, the only means by which man is to be saved.